But let's go ahead and jump in. Again, if you're new to the call, I'm David Zaitchik. I'm the commissioner of the NCL. Also on the call with Cyber Skyline, we have Emily and Ashley. Hello, Emily, Ashley.
Hi, everybody.
Hi. All right, so let's look at the agenda of what we're going to do today. We're going to talk about what's coming up in fall? Since we just finished the spring competition, we do have a little bit of an announcement. We have not raised prices, so that is coming. So we'll talk about our price increase, talk about some pre-funding accounts for the fall season, and then what's going to be related to our breakout session, talking about scouting reports. So we'll talk about publicizing scouting reports, and then also what are we talking about to students of, okay, you've competed in this competition, now what? How do you use that on your resume? How do you use that to get hired? And that's going to be kind of one of our discussion topics, along with what else can we do that you guys think would be great to include in our scouting report. So we'll be doing that during this discussion portion. So maybe start thinking about that as we get closer to that. All right, Emily,
Yeah, thanks,
competition
David.
dates. Sure.
Yeah, so we have the fall 2025 competition dates. These are also on the NCL website in case you need to refer back to them later. So registration is going to be opening up on August 18th. Late registration will begin October 11th and end on the 14th. The practice game will take place October 13th through the 19th. The individual game weekend will be October 24th through the 26th. The team game weekend will be November 7th through the 9th. And then the gym will close for the fall season on December 12th. Once again, these dates are on the website, so you'll be able to refer back to them at any point. And along with information about the fall, and you probably have seen this already in an email and in communication that we have put out recently. So, starting in the fall, we are raising registration fees by $10. So, it's going to be going up to $45 per student. Late registration will be $55 per student. And just like David said, we have not raised the prices for NCL registration for the past 10 years. So we are going to go ahead and continue to offer all of the great things that we have for NCL. So you get the practice gym, individual team game, all the community events and networking, the Discord. So we're going to continue to just create a really great environment for our NCL participants and coaches. And if you have any questions, of course, please let us know in the chat. But hopefully this is pretty straightforward, and we really appreciate your loyalty and patronage of NCL. And we're excited to continue to create some really new and exciting things, especially over the summer for the fall 2025 season. So if anybody has any questions, feel free to pop them in the chat. Otherwise, I'm going to kind of just move forward and talk about some other things for updates. But we're here if you have any questions or comments. All right, so pre-funding accounts. There is an NCL registration prepayment system up and running. It's going to allow you to pre-fund your account to cover the registration fees for future seasons of NCL. There are a few simple steps. You'll need to submit a purchase order form to request an invoice, or a credit card payment portal is another option for you. When you make the prepayment and you add a balance credit to your it will add a balance credit to your Cyber Skyline account, and then you'll be able to go ahead and apply that to your accounts. Remember, it has to registration has to open before you're able to apply that money to active registrations, but you'll be able to view and use your balance credit to pay for registration codes on demand strictly from the online registration portal. So hopefully this makes it really easy for you all to pre-fund your accounts. And we have a tip. Of course, if you have any extra funding that's expiring soon, you can make a prepayment for future seasons of NCL so it doesn't go to waste. So the money will just stay into your account until registration will open in the fall. But that way, your money doesn't have to go to waste. And we know sometimes you have some pretty sensitive timing funding. Any questions about that? Ashley is on the call. She's going to be your go-to woman for those types of questions, but she'll be happy to answer any questions you may have about pre-funding your accounts.
And she did just drop the link for the purchase order form into the chat.
Terrific. All righty. We shared this a few, I think about maybe two or three coaches calls ago. So we have the ability for students to publicly share their scouting reports. So just a quick reminder, we've updated the privacy settings for the NCL scouting reports. So now scouting report links will be default to being private, meaning only students can access it from their link. So students will have the option to change their settings to public if they want to share their scouting report link, keeping in mind that any previous scouting reports that are from fall 2024 or older have been set as public to ensure that previously shared links are still accessible. But your students will just need to simply go to their user profile. They can toggle then to make their reports public from a private setting. They just have to click save. And then they also could just do the same. If they want to go ahead and make it public and change it to private, they just have to go ahead and toggle and click the save button as well. So just a reminder in case they find out that, hey, my link is no longer showing public for this particular season. That's the reason why, but it's a really easy fix for them to be able to share. And we also encourage students, of course, to share on their resumes. They can share as part of certifications on their LinkedIn profiles, and be able to show all the great work that they've done for the spring season. Of course, if students have any questions about this or you have any questions, let us know. We'll be happy to make sure you have what you need. And also, Ashley has put the link for the help docs, which is truly just going to be the steps that I shared. So students will be able to share their scouting reports to the public. All right. Well, that's really it for me for updates. We are going to have next month, we are going to have a coaches call. So this is not going to be the end for us until the summer. But of course, if there's any questions for myself or Ashley or for our team, of course, always reach out. We're always happy to help. But I will go ahead and give it back to David.
Okay. And we can take a minute here just to pause because we did go over a few things there. So, if there are any questions, either speak up or put them into chat. And yeah, Ashley also mentioned that we'll have some time after the call as well if any other questions creep up. Okay, let's move on to the next piece. And actually, yeah, go ahead to the next slide. All right, so we're going to go into discussion time, but before that, I kind of want to do a quick show of hands for the next Skyline cybersecurity conference that's coming up is the NIST NICE conference, June 1st in Denver. We'll be there, and again, we're hoping to see some of you there. So we want to do another meetup. So show of hands, is anybody planning to be at the NIST NICE conference in Denver? Garrett will be representing. Okay, good. Well, pass the word on to Garrett that we'll have a meetup. Other than that, I don't see any other hands going up. Oh, Richard. Great. Okay. And Flashade. Great. Great. Okay. Well, we will send out more information. I don't have a time and date yet for that, but be looking for a message to, hey, do a little, hey, let's meet up. Since we're all there at the same spot together, I think we're going to just try and find an evening where there isn't anything else planned and just do a little meetup. Say hi to everybody. Okay, great. All right, so we got plenty of time today for discussion, which is great. And do want to make that note that if you don't want to be part of the discussion, that's fine. I highly encourage you to stay around and chat because this is a great way to meet other cybersecurity, keep saying cyber skyline, cybersecurity educators and talk about NCL. Make everyone's coming back. I'll just give it one sec. I had a request too, so I'm trying to pull up some material. Give me one second on that. Okay. Maybe I'll start by sharing my screen. Let's see. Oh, there we go. Okay, so this everyone can see this?
Yes.
Okay. So this came up in one of the breakout rooms, and I even mentioned it in the other breakout room, was one assignment that I have my students do at the end of the semester using the scouting report. And the idea is for them to review the scouting report and look at the categories that they performed well in, or I say that you enjoyed, and then they can use that to figure out, hey, what work roles might be good for them based upon the NCL competition. So what we did was Cyber Skyline mapped the NCL skills categories to the NIST NICE cybersecurity work roles. So let me pull that up. And I don't know, Ashley, I'll put you on the spot. I don't know if you can find a link directly to this or not. I can find that in a second. Maybe.
I will look. Yeah, give me one
Okay.
moment.
All right. So here is what I was talking about is across the top here are the NCL categories. And then down here are the NIST NICE job roles. And what you can see here is each category has an icon, and each role has these required skills for that role. So let's say Cyber Intel Planner, you can see requires open source intelligence, cryptography, and scanning. So what I was saying in one of the breakout rooms is my idea here is for students to be able to say, okay, well, I competed in this game and yeah, I got these points, but what does that really mean for the real world? And more importantly, I think students also think of cybersecurity and they say, I want to be in cybersecurity, but they don't necessarily know all the job roles. So this is a great way for them to, one, learn about all the different job roles, and even more importantly, show the ones that they might actually enjoy or be good at based upon how they performed in the NCL. So yeah, this document is available, and we'll make sure we get the link. I know
The
Ash.
link is in the chat.
Hey, good job. Thank you, Ashley. The link to what I'm showing you right now is in the chat. All right. With that, let me pull up our breakout rooms and we'll start with breakout room one just to give us an overview of what you guys talked about. Chip, did we lose Chip? Oh, oh, you're muted. We muted you when you came back.
Terrible. You did.
Sorry.
So we had a really robust conversation, and kudos to Carlisle and Talladega College because they're a new CAE school. It was their first time competing. And Mike Turney is Des Moines Public High School, and also was their first time competing. So it was interesting to share how they're introducing and what they thought of the scouting reports and just the competition in general. Um, Angela shared a lot of other places that the students are being encouraged to place a link to their scouting report on their resume. Also, making sure that they're posting the participation badge onto LinkedIn, so they're letting employers know. In her particular area, so is University of Tampa, they have area employers that recognize NCL and actively seek those students who are doing well in the competition. We talked about the challenges of new students coming in. We all know that trying something new and being a bit fearful. For in our school, we tend to see the super high performers. They're all about putting it on the resume. You know, I got number 8 in OSINT. You know, in a competition of 7,500 people. That's an easy thing to put, and maybe we need to do a better job of saying just competing at all still puts you miles ahead of the competition that's out there. Universally, we all kind of agreed that the days of I got my degree, here's my piece of paper, where's my job, those days are way over in the cyber field. You have to be able to demonstrate technical skills, and NCL is a great place to do that. And now you're the one muted. Ha!
I muted myself. Way to go. I'll talk louder. At the very bottom there, you talked about adding an AI challenge, and you have a link to a site that is an AI challenge, AI cybersecurity challenge.
Correct. I think
Okay,
Angela shared that one, I think. Yeah, aicyberchallenge.com.
great. And then I was based upon that, I was promising that the next meeting, so our June meeting, to talk more about AI because I know that is something that we do need to talk about, figure out what that's going to look like with NCL in terms of possible AI challenges, things like that. So I'd promised our next call will be AI related, and we will invite the Cyber Skyline engineers to come and talk to us about that. Okay, breakout room two. John.
Hello. It was a quiet conversation until David and Joshua joined, and then it turned into a party. Um, so let's see. The fact that you can connect it to LinkedIn is a plus. That's pretty much the only assignment I had for my students with the scoring report. I'll be stealing your one that I just saw from you. Can't believe you give students 100 points for that. You're very generous. Um, so that's a big plus. Then we talked about what you just did, which is your assignment. Uh, and Joshua discussed how he's not making much use of it. His semesters, end of school year, are aligning with the end of NCL and dealing with finals and senioritis and all those challenges. But I suggested to him that he should probably just at least throw your assignment up there if the students are looking for jobs, right? All you can do is offer material. You can't make them drink. Um, the um, what else can we do to get people? I think okay, so link to other competitions, right? Hey, if you enjoyed this product, right, here are some other things you could do. The free portions of Try Hack Me, Hack the Box. I'm in grant request mode this past week, and I've actually requested Try Hack Me uh, vouchers for the students, so you could at least hand out some, a month worth of Try Hack Me access because it is pricey for students. We got into a discussion on the Cyber Skyline Lab kits. Those are a good way to keep people engaged in between, and also to reach out to younger students, middle high school students, to get them involved without throwing them into the complete deep end of Cyber Patriot. Cyber Patriot, sorry, wrong competition, NCL. Um, and let's see, question on how do we get students to understand like the importance of NCL. It's not just another assignment, another thing to do. And that turned into a really good discussion because, of course, the all and mighty Dan Manson was quoted several times. About Joshua pointed out how Dan says 50% of your work, what you're going to learn, is come from outside activities. I always quote Dan that NCL is a team activity. Uh, David, mentioned how in an interview, this is like, yes, I have done something tangible. I have not just been in a classroom. I talked about a student of mine who, at an interview, they asked her about cryptography, and the only cryptography she did was it was an NCL, and she showed them her scoring report. And I didn't write it down here, but I did talk about, I tell my students, if you are in fashion or art, something tangible, and you go architecture, you go into your interview with a portfolio and you show them, here's work I've done. For cyber people, it's a little harder, right? We do hand puppets and and ephemeral things. Maybe we have a GitHub account. So being able to show them a scoring report, this is what I have done. And it's relevant to the work you're asking me to do. I think is a good use of the scoring report. And that is all I have to say about that.
All right. Thank you for the overview. And again, thanks everyone for joining. Looks like we got right to the top of the hour here. We will have another meeting in June. next month, and we'll get you all the info for that out in the next few weeks. And let's see. Oh, yeah. Thank you, Ashley. June 11th is our specific day for that call. So with that meeting invite, you'll also get a recap of what we talked about today. And as I promised, our next meeting will be about AI once again, that reoccurring topic that is definitely important. And we know that more and more companies are looking for students with those skills. So we should talk a little bit more about what does that mean and what can we possibly do in NCL to help with that. So again, thanks everyone. We'll see you again on June 11th. If you have other questions, stick around and we're here to help answer any other questions that come up.